Do technical analysis indicators work, and can you make money on binary options using them? This is one of the most common questions that has been bothering me. Today's episode will be a bit unusual on this topic. I'll talk about my 7 favorite indicators, on which I've spent thousands of hours trading and which have brought me tens of thousands of dollars. I won't delve into them in detail. You can do that yourself if you decided to read books on technical analysis, but I'll tell you about the specifics of each indicator and open a trade for each one. So by the end of the video, you'll understand how to use any of them. I'll start with the simplest indicator, which has become the mother of many other indicators. It's the moving average. It's probably the most popular tool in technical analysis, and now I'll show you how to use it in one of the profitable strategies. First, you need to make some minor adjustments. To do this, I open the indicator list on the Quotex broker platform and select MA. I change the period to 8 and then open the list again. We need another indicator like this, but here I set the period to 21. Here's what situations on the chart we need. When the lines cross from below upwards and then diverge sideways, you need to wait to the price to break the upper MA and start moving back. That's a signal to buy. For selling, it's the opposite situation. The indicator should cross from above to below during a price drop and start diverging. Let's move on to practice. Here's the situation we need on currency pair. The moving average diverges sideways and the price begins to move back from the broken line. Here I entered for buying. The price bounces nicely off the line. This indicator method is good because we trade with the trend, and the trend is a trader's friend. I'm in profit. Tell me, isn't it the easiest $87 per minute? The next cool and one of my favorite indicators is the MACD. It provides several types of signals, but we need only one, divergence. It's considered the highest quality on MACD. To set it up, you need to select MACD from the list, leave all settings as default, and close the tab. The only thing you need to do is stretch the indicator to make it clearer. And divergence between the price and indicator bars will bring us money. For example, on the chart the lows are falling, but on the MACD they are rising. Additionally, its 2 signal lines cross. That's an excellent buy signal. For selling, the situation will be opposite. The highs on the chart will rise, while they will fall on the indicator. Ready to trade? Here's the entry point. On the MACD, the lows are rising significantly, while the chart is falling. This means the price will soon soar, and I need to buy an option. There is a whole book by a well-known trader dedicated to divergence on MACD. There he calls it strongest signal. The account has gained weight again, and it's awesome. By the way, you can start trading right now, even if you haven't done it before. For example, if you try working with my signals while learning strategies. In short, if you want to learn faster, hurry to my Telegram channel with tons of useful material. The link is in the description. Next up is the cool trend indicator parabolic SAR. It's very simple visually and in usage. Graphically, it's a set of dots indicating the price direction. Essentially, it's the only signal traders can get from this indicator. It's located second to last in the list of trend indicators. Install it with one click. No need to change the settings. Leave everything as default. Here's how it works. If a group of dots appears at the bottom of the chart, the trend is upward. If the dots are at the top, the trend is downward. And here's what we'll do with it. When the first dots appear at the top, it's a signal to enter sales. If the first dots are at the bottom, it's a signal to buy. Let's test how this works. For I've tested it many times before. No filters are needed here in the form of levels, technical analysis figures, or trend lines, only dots and nothing more. And now to the options. Just as the first dots appear indicated that price wants to go down, I quickly hit the sell button and open a contract downwards. This indicator is in beginner series. If you don't understand trading at all, you can start with it. Another almost $100 in 1 minute. I consider this wonderful. If you agree, press one like. And it would be awesome if you subscribe to the channel. Ready to learn about the next tool for earning? It's Bill Williams' fractals indicator, a brilliant trader who showed huge profits over long distance. Fractals on the chart are triangles marking highs and lows. Let's see what the indicator looks like on the chart. It's also found for some reason in the list of trend indicators, but there are no settings except for color. So let's go straight to the chart. The indicator's algorithms mark critical price points with red triangles below and green ones above. Traders use it like this. As soon as fractal appears at the bottom, they enter for buying, and fractals at the top provide a selling entry point. You can add the use of levels here, but it's not necessary. Let's not waste time, let's go earn. I enter a buy right away because there's already a good option here. The indicator drew a fractal at the bottom on the chart, which means we should enter upward, which I did. While the trade is ongoing, here's a fact about Bill Williams. He didn't just invent several popular indicators, but also was a successful analyst and trader for 25 years. Teaching a huge number of people about trading, and yes, he was a billionaire. And while I was talking, the option closed in profit. I use the RSI indicator in huge number of trades, and it performs excellently, so I can't help but mention it in this episode. Its main signal is divergence, just like MACD, but visually this tool is simpler. Yeah, its signals are no worse. If choosing between it and MACD, I'll choose RSI, but that's each trader's preference. Let's move on to a brief overview. RSI is found here. No need to change the preset settings. They are proven effective. I'll go straight to the indicator itself. It's better to stretch it a bit, otherwise you won't see anything. Spotting divergence on RSI is very easy. If the chart highs rise while lows on the indicator fall, rejoice, because you'll profit from selling options. The buying signal is an opposite. Chart lows should fall while RSI rises. Let's try the strategy in action. Divergences on minute chart are not rare. On this currency pair, I see a perfectly ideal scenario. The price has risen above the previous peak, and on the indicator there is a clear downturn at the same period. The pattern is straight out of trading textbook. There are many different RSI variations, but I don't recommend using them. The original is always better and more profitable. The trade again resulted in a profit. Divergence works wonders with the deposit. Unfortunately, I can't tell you more about in this video, but if you subscribe to my Telegram channel, you can find a lot of info of this topic there. The link is in the video description. The next indicator may seem complicated, but we don't need all its capabilities, only part of them, so everything should be easy and straightforward. I'm talking about Bollinger Bands. It shows the deviation level from the average value. It's also said that it helps determine market volatility. Let's see what it looks like in practice. I'll open the indicator in the broker's terminal. Quotex has very inconvenient settings, so I'll change 5 to 20 and 1 to 2. This is what the standard Bollinger Bands look like. It works like this. Then the market is calm and stable, the side bands start to tighten. During increased volatility, they expand instead. There is also a moving average in the middle. It indicates the average price values over a period. Now let's see how we can make money from this indicator, which looks like a worm. Many mistakenly believe that in any trend you can enter from the band's edge, but that's not the case. It's an uptrend, don't sell from the upper band of the indicator. In a rising market we only buy, and the signal is when the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. In a downtrend it's risky to buy from the lower band on the indicator. Here it's only options for sale and only when touching upper band and sometimes the moving average. Let's look for entry opportunities now. I see a moderately falling trend on the currency pair. At the same time, the price touched the upper band. This is a good selling signal, although in this situation the trend can change quickly. Indeed, the option is struggling to resist going up. Nevertheless, the bands also bring profit. How do you like such simple signals from such complex indicator? Support with a like, it really motivates me to share such strategies. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already. For dessert, I saved everyone's favorite, stochastic. It's an indicator that we can also use to identify divergence, but we won't do that because we've already covered RSI and MACD. I saved stochastic for trading retracements, and for this I'll use overbought and oversold zones. To start, I'll install the indicator on the chart. To get cleaner signals, I need to change these values to 80 and 20. Let's stretch the stochastic area a bit for better visibility. This area is called the overbought zone. Almost every time the indicator goes above it, the asset starts to fall. If the indicator goes into the lower zone, traders expect a price reversal upwards. This area is called the oversold zone. Now for the signals I'll be looking for the trade. If there is a downtrend on the chart, entry of the indicator lines into the overbought zone will be a selling signal. For buy signals, it's the opposite. In a rising trend, entry of stochastic into the oversold zone will be a buying signal. And now let's go find the last trade for today. On the screen is the best situation with stochastic that you could ever see. The indicator exits the oversold zone, which is already a signal, but the main thing is that it happens during a rising trend. However, the currency pair price isn't enthusiastic about the indicator's signal, as I'm isn't rushing to rise. In the end, buyers turn out to be stronger and my bank account is enriched by another $84. None of these strategies are complicated. One indicator, one signal, 1 minute to profit. I've spent a long time developing these simple strategies, but now you can take any of them and earn yourself a monthly salary in just a week, which you usually spend a whole month earning. Perhaps things won't work out right away, but it's normal when things don't do smoothly. When you were very young and couldn't work, you stood up and fell down, then got up again, and so on until you started walking. After your first fall, you didn't think, "To hell with it, this isn't for me, I'll crawl for the rest of my life." Trading is the same. You'll definitely learn everything. Just give yourself some time. That's all from me for today. I wish everyone a positive mood and big profits. Until next time.